What's going on, everybody? Cali Death Podcast back once again, episode 82. Back on the Thursday schedule. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Thank you to all you subscribers out there. That number's going up. Congratulations to my resident homies, by the way. The channel has broken 100,000 views since we started that thing. That's pretty fucking cool. For an underground band to start underground bands to start underground podcasts to get to this point, it's pretty cool, dude. It feels awesome. So, and it has to do all with you guys who are listening to this and telling your friends to keep coming back and watch us, listen to us wherever you can see us. That was a big loud beeping noise. Did anybody else hear that?
Yeah.
God,
I
I hope
burped.
that wasn't me.
I burped.
Oh yeah, farted. Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that shit. Well, actually, if you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, because that's where you guys will hear about the episodes first. I don't really say that too much, but we actually announce the episodes, earlier in the week, so you guys can get in there, ask questions if you guys are looking forward to the episode, and blah 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 blah. Other things are calideathpodcast.bigcartel.com. If you want a t-shirt you can represent, there it is. And yeah, dude. What up, resident homies? And I know the professor's got a couple things he wants to say.
Shout out. People are supporting with the shirts. So shout out. I don't remember where we left off, but I think shout out Curtis Riley, David Cosgrove, Justin Medeiros, Bernadette Humphrey, Christopher Bragg, Derek McCubbin, and Brian Sirota. You guys are awesome. And shout out, I was at the Rivers of Nile show in LA last night, and I had a couple people come up and just be like, dude, I love the podcast. And just, I've been listening since episode 1.
That's
and
killer,
so it's
dude.
always fucking rad. So always come up if I'm out at a show and say what's up. It's great to meet you guys.
Hell yeah. That's
I'm gonna go back to. Are we down for like a live bagging again? Remember live bagging? That was like a
live bagging.
Are you
Yeah.
down? So like
need to
this
do that
little
again.
If someone
yeah.
buys a shirt tonight, I will live bag.
Yeah,
So if someone's
because I
gonna
want
buy
to
a
hear that
shirt,
theme song again. I want to hear that theme song again.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah,
gotta
always
do that.
down, yeah.
right.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot about
somebody
that.
buy a shirt tonight during the episode again.
Yeah.
I met a couple dudes too that like I was at the merch and they like were like, wait, hey man, Cali Death. And they're like, yeah, they're like high five or fist bump me. It was sick, dude.
Nice, dude. That's
yeah.
cool.
I was at the San Diego show. It was so good.
Yeah, that feels
Look
good
out.
that you guys are, now you guys are actually coming across the humans in person that dig this shit. So that's
Yeah.
awesome, guys.
And
Hopefully-
Justin, who just commented, he showed up to my last of Lucy show wearing his shirt that I shipped him, and that was fucking rad to see.
Hell
Like,
yeah, dude.
fan
I think the
support.
weirdest thing I've ever actually dealt with it was at the Vets Hall, and I was just outside talking to some people, and some guy was like, "Hey, your voice sounds familiar." It was during still like everyone was masking, kind of, so like he couldn't see my face. He's like, "Your voice sounds really familiar. Are you on do you do a podcast like a death metal podcast?" Like from the voice, from like not
Oh,
even
he
seeing
heard you
my
from the
face.
voice, dude. That's
I was
He
like,
knew who
"Holy
you were."
shit!" That was the weirdest shit.
Well, come out. Joel and I will be at Suffo Atheist next week at DNA Lounge. You guys show up. We'll accept your beers.
I'll buy beers too.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking.
I'll
All
buy
right.
people beers.
But yeah, hit us up for the t-shirts. Hit us up at all those spots if you want to get info first. And yeah, we love you guys. We're here again. This week we have awesome dudes already. I've talked to them for a couple minutes before this. We got Josh, Tim, and Billy from. Let me pronounce that. Let me try it. Don't tell me.
You got it.
Paroxysmal butchering. Paroxysmal butchering.
Paroxysmal
Did I get it?
butchering. Yeah, you were right. Yeah, pretty
Nice,
much.
dude. I was going because I kept on wanting to say paradoxal, which
I
not
know,
even a
that's
word.
Well, it's like
Is that a
what your
word?
brain does. What's what your brain does? Your brain takes like the beginning of it, and it's like paradox
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like I did the same thing. I was like, oh shit, I'm saying it completely wrong. Let's go through this slowly. It's not
Yeah,
it's wrong.
wait. How do you say it right? Say it, guys.
Paroxysmal. Did I just mess
Paroxysmal?
it up?
That's
No, I got it. Paroxysmal.
No, it's paroxysmal, right?
Paroxysmal.
I think Tim was trying to fuck with people when he came up with that name.
There's
It's
a
a
very
tongue
simple
twister.
reason. Huh?
I said it's a tongue twister.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
yeah.
No, that was just my obsessive compulsive disorder and all that shit. When I was making a logo, I needed to be perfectly symmetrical. So there was 10 letters in paroxysmal and 10 letters in butchering. I was like, beautiful. And that was it.
Yeah. Nice.
Now you have
Nice.
to define the word though.
Just means sudden,
Paroxysmal.
violent, or unexpected.
Unexpected butchering, dude.
Paroxysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paroxysmal.
Okay.
Yeah, we get all
I'm
kinds of
sick.
shit. We
Fucked up,
just we just roll with it. Like,
Fuck yeah.
It was a stupid decision, but I'm happy I made it.
No way, it rules.
When
yeah.
when Last Lucy played with you guys, Josh was like, "All right, help me with the name," and I'm like, "It's Paroxysmal Butchering." He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Paroxysmal Butchering." He's like, "Can you just say it?" And I'm like, "Sure." So then he's like, shout out to the first band, shout out to the next band. And then he's like, and he like hands me the mic, and I just say, from the drum set, I'm just like, Paroxysmal Butchering.
PD,
Hand it
dude.
to the educated guy.
I mean, I have history with these guys, so I was familiar.
Hell
That's
yeah.
all. Yeah.
What's the history? Let's hear that real quick. How do you guys know each other?
Actually, the first time you guys met together was at Casey's studio.
Yeah.
Visions.
Right.
sick.
So yeah, like I had a music studio, like, back in 2017, I like had it for a few years before COVID and stuff. And so it was a rehearsal studio and music studio. So like you guys were practicing. I don't even know if I knew before I heard you guys like actually jamming that you guys were a death metal band coming in or something. But I think like, I was like one day just like jamming or like doing something, and I just heard all of a sudden there's like this band like just shredding death metal like in the other room, and I like came in and was like, "What's up?" Like, I think so, something like that, right? I can't remember. It was way back.
Josh,
Remember?
when I told Josh and Dalton and Ty that you owned the place, Ty like almost shit himself, and so Josh started playing Decrepit Birth, and then you kind of peeked your head in like, "Hey, who's playing Decrepit Birth in here?"
Oh, sick.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Right.
yeah, I
Right.
was jamming on a Prelude.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
I probably already told this story, but I have to because it's so similar. Like getting ready for that Severed tour, me and Mike were setting up, and we could hear another metal band in the building, and then we're setting up, and I'm like, that riff is a Severed riff, and then we realized they were playing some Severed riff. I think it was Buried Again or something. And we went there, and it was the dudes from Viral. It was Steve from Light the City and Randy Lopez, dude. But it's just so weird to be at a rehearsal studio hearing another band playing your band's music.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
So then you walk in on them, and they're like, "What up, dude? What the
yeah,
fuck are you doing
or they,
here?"
or they just want to say what's up, and they're just like, I'm just gonna that guy fucking Severed Savior's here, dude. Let's fucking play a riff so they come in and hang out.
Yeah, that's
Well, I knew Steve before,
were
so he definitely wouldn't. That's literally just what they would like warm up to, is one of those Severed songs.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, guys.
Yeah, that's the start of our history together, and then we jammed a couple times, me, Josh, and then we've played shows together. You guys played the first show that I did with To Violently Vomit. That was Los Angeles Extermination Fest, and that was before you guys got Billy. And then we've played a show since, which I already mentioned, and Billy fucking kills it on drums. I'm super stoked you guys found a sick drummer, because I was thinking about trying it, but you guys are a little further away than other bands from me, so it was going to be tricky to work out. So yeah.
Thanks for the kind words, buddy.
Oh yeah, dude. Fucking
Not too shabby yourself.
I very stoked to fucking jam alongside you, man, and throw down. So yeah.
What was
Yeah,
that?
that was a special treat the other week.
Yeah, that was sick. That show that you guys streamed, is that what you're talking about? The one that was
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chula Vista,
Oh, yeah.
Bay Bridge Brewing Company in Chula Vista. Hopefully they throw more shows, because that was
watching
a
that.
sick spot.
I liked that venue. It was small, but it was nice. Like, and the owner was really awesome.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. No, the reason we liked it was the parking. God damn, if they could all be like that with the parking.
There
Oh,
was
man.
Yeah.
God, parking on tour, that's something that doesn't really get talked about much. Like going down to like playing shows in like Philadelphia or even San Francisco or New York. I remember Casey and I, like, first time going to New York, we have like a trailer and we're going to like park in fucking Times Square, and we're like, we're like completely fish out of water, and we're just like, oh, we have to like park in Times Square. One time, Matt and I were trying to park in Philadelphia, and I think it took us about probably an hour and 45 minutes to park, something like that. Just circling. We got stuck going up this like circular kind of tunnel thing that was like parking. That was like one of these circular things. We got stuck going up and trying to cut like back out of it. And the trailer started hitting the wall. Like, and we were like, oh shit, like we're stuck. Dude. We almost like jammed the van in this churn where we couldn't go forward or backward. Unless we like wanted to fuck up the van or something or the trailer.
It's like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. No, I know. Some of those towns, they just don't have it figured out. It's just like, yeah, just show up, play, dude. We're just downtown. We're 1.9 million people are too. Just
Yeah, dude.
play,
We're in the heart of everything, dude. You got this, dude.
If you have a Civic, you're gonna have a fucking problem parking. So just bring your van with a 16-foot trailer. It's gonna be fine, dude.
It's crazy.
Well, right on, dude. So should we get fucking moving into some timeline shit here? So we usually, when we have multiple guests, we usually just want the first person, the oldest member of the band, if whoever started it, if you guys are here, let's hear your background story, dude. How you got into music, whichever one of you guys started this up.
You got it. So yeah, I started PB back in 2007. It was a solo project. And
so actually, when I say take us back before PB, dude. Take us back to like how you got into music, basically. Like, what made you want to start playing?
Well, I actually got into music pretty late. Like, a lot of people they love music their entire lives. I didn't get really into music until I was in my teens. Like, and I got a bass when I was 15, and metal was what I wanted to play. And so, but I mean, at that time, it was like fucking Mudvayne and American Head Charge and stuff that I wanted to play.
Oh, American Head Charge.
Hey, I'll back both those bands, dude.
But yeah, I got into Cannibal Corpse because I saw Vile at Sam Goody in the Hemet Mall, and I was like, this is the coolest fucking album art I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And,
which album was it?
Vile.
The album. Oh, you're saying Cannibal Vile.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant the band Vile.
Oh no, I didn't get into them till later. But
later
yeah.
on, yeah.
But yeah, that fucking album. After that, I was like, I want to make death metal, and so I didn't have any like-minded musicians, and so I just started trying to write music myself, pretty much.
So you're saying Mudvayne and American Head Charge. We like to hear like kind of like the build-up, dude. Don't be shy about what you grew up on, and you know, mine was Motown and 50s and 60s music. So
for sure, then okay, then yeah. I mean, I got in. My dad listened to metal music when I was really young, like fucking Metallica and Megadeth and Pantera and that shit. So I grew up with metal, and
nice.
Yeah, so it was like the music that I just figured everyone listened to. You know what I mean? It was like my rock or my pop music, and so that was really my first experience with it. And then I never wanted to admit it, but I loved the adult contemporary music my mom listened to, like John Cicada and shit. Like that stuff was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and then after Metallica and Pantera and that kind of shit, Hatebreed was one of the first bands that I really got into where they were like really heavy music, you know.
Was that Satisfaction, the first record? Which album was it?
It was I had heard Under the Knife, and
yeah.
And that album was like, holy shit. And so I went and bought Satisfaction as a Death of Desire. And then after a few months of listening to them, Perseverance came out. And so for a while I was really into hardcore music, but I mean it basically was just a quest to find like the heaviest music, because for whatever reason, when I do something, I have to do it at the most extreme, you know. I have to take it as far as I can. And so with music, it was like, hell yeah, death metal is where I want to be, you know?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Real quick, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, when we were zoomed on, you're moving your camera kind of a little much. It was giving me a little dizziness. No. That's okay. That's okay. I was just gonna give you the heads up now.
Do it more, because Anthony might vomit on the podcast. It's kind of funny.
No, dude, I'm not drinking right now, so. Yeah. Joel never likes it when I say that, dude.
It's fine.
It's fine. Move on. Hop water, dude.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that shit's good, dude.
It is. It's delicious.
Fuck yeah.
So then, Tim, how long did it last before? So were there like some demos before? Was it Supreme Revulsion was the first?
Yeah.
release, or what came? Okay.
Yeah, basically after a few years of just writing songs here and there, it was like I'm gonna put all the music that I have together and just call it an album, and then that'll be that. And so I recorded Supreme Revulsion with Josh. He produced it, and I played guitar and did vocals and bass, and then programmed drums on it. And after that came out, Josh and I started playing music together, and his drummer Nacho from his band, we started jamming together. And so yeah, it was a good 4 or 5 years before I actually started jamming with other people, and that was Josh and Nacho. That was guitar and drums.
So, Josh, do you want to take us back and do the origins of your music history?
Yeah. So I guess growing up, like my parents are like, my mom's into whatever, like mariachi and stuff like that, and my dad is huge into disco, but I never really was into that kind of stuff. We lived with my uncle, who would always like, lift weights in his den, and he'd always be bumping Metallica and like
Sick.
it's just like cooler, like heavier shit.
Mhm.
And I was like probably 4 years old and 5 years old, and I'm just like hanging out with him, thinking it's so cool. Like, it's bobbing my head, like,
Right.
man, this is so cool. Hanging out with my uncle, he's getting ripped.
Getting all
And, like,
ripped, just giant
yeah.
human, getting all aggressive,
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah, dude, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, so I always looked up to him. And later on, like, I don't know, I didn't really pay much attention to music until I was like 12 years old. I was hanging out with a friend, and he was like looking at my hands, like, dude, you got long fingers. You should pick up the guitar. I was like, really? You think so? And I started saving. Like, I had this like janitor job, and I saved for like 2 years, and I bought my first guitar when I was like 15 years old.
Sick.
And yeah, back then I wanted to play new metal shit. Like, I was super into Chord and System of a Down. I mean, I still
Mhm.
love those guys.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
dude. Respect.
Fuck
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, jamming on new metal shit. And I met Nacho, our old drummer, in high school. And we started playing, like, I started getting to like black metal. We started playing black metal together, and we had like a black death metal band. But then when I was 18 years old, I saw Disgorge and Cattle Decapitation play at the Jumping Turtle
Nice.
right there in San Marcos. And dude, that show like changed my life. I was like, dude, I want to play brutal death metal now, because I saw Diego up there just ripping it up, and I was like, fuck, that guy's so badass. Like, I want to be that fucking awesome on guitar. I'm trying to get there still, like 20 years later or whatever. But dude,
I mixed those venues up down there. So the Jumping Turtle, is that the one that's like narrow and long, but and the stage is like kind of it's facing the bar? Am I
kind of, yeah. I think
No.
you got the right idea. It was facing a bar.
I know
of.
we've played Jumping Turtle, but they're down there. There's also Holy Goalie.
No,
Right?
no,
I
no.
don't
It's
remember
brick
that
by
one.
brick. It's brick by brick and Jumping
Brick by
Turtle, right?
brick. Brick by brick, I
Yeah.
remember
You're
that.
thinking San Diego. Yeah. Holy Gully's like LA. But,
Yeah.
Holy Gully. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jumping Turtle though?
That place.
That's
San
it's in
Marcos.
San Marcos.
Okay.
Yeah, San
San
Marcos.
Diego
That was like near my parents' place.
Mm, mm.
It's like in
Okay,
San
so my
Marcos.
shit's
It's
off.
not too far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
I
where
was
just
a
lumped
civ,
SoCal on the one thing, because that's what happens. You do like 4 shows in SoCal. You're just like, I've been in SoCal for the last 4 days, driving an hour here, driving an hour there.
Getting the names of cities wrong.
Man, I missed that. The place
Yep.
is all gone now, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, it's
I
still
know,
sitting
man.
there. I feel like they're gonna tear it
Showcase.
down.
Did they replace Showcase with something else?
I don't remember Showcase.
Probably like a
Showcase
building
Theater?
that would like survive.
Oh, you're
like
talking
a
about the
strong
Showcase in
season.
Corona. That's in Corona.
That place is back,
Oh,
isn't
okay.
it?
Is it?
No, there's a documentary on it too. By the way, someone said they put a
It didn't come
documentary
back?
out.
Oh, I
on it.
thought it came back. No, that's wrong.
I mean that building was definitely on its way out back in those days. It was definitely like a withered old theater or something, right? Wasn't it?
What, Showcase?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was old, but I mean, it was decent size and good shows. Good
Oh yeah, it was
sound.
awesome. Yeah.
Well,
we had
the
a
brick,
venue like that in Escondido that was just old as hell and beat to shit, but it was such an awesome venue. They finally closed it down like 10 years ago, but it was the Metaphor.
never been there.
Yeah, that
That's
place
cool.
was badass. They had some amazing shows there.
So
Yeah.
sorry, Josh, I cut you off for all that right there. You
Oh,
were
yeah,
talking about Jumping Turtle, Cattle, Discord,
Oh yeah,
blowing your
dude,
mind.
that show was legendary. People to this day still talk about that show.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, Disgorge from like that moment on was like my favorite band, and
What year was that?
like 2005 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
The
from that moment on,
Parallels
I just,
era. Yep.
yeah, Levi was on
Levi,
vocals.
yeah.
Yeah, Ben. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it was badass. Yeah.
So
So
then
then-
you go home and you're like, let's hit the books again. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, so I started getting into more heavier and more technical shit. Then fast forward 2011, I start recording Tim, and I like what he was doing. I was like, dude, if you want to start like a full-on band, like I'll join you with my drummer, and we just started playing shows like every other weekend as
Hell
a
yeah.
3-piece. Yeah, I was sick.
What'd you guys call
Yeah.
yourself?
It's
Oh,
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's the first incarnation. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was a band right before that. So you guys were just the 3-piece then? Are you guys still just a 3-piece now?
Right now, I mean, we're working with a new guitar player,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a bass player, but he lives in Arizona, and we live in California, and so like
Yeah.
we play shows with him occasionally, but it's not an every show thing.
Yeah. If it could
Yeah.
work out, then you guys make it happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys, that was the first. So you just, how long? Okay. So you guys go and start playing shows. Did you guys whip up a bunch of songs quick, or did it take a while to put some songs together before you guys went out and started playing shows?
We just played the Supreme Revulsion material, like
Okay.
the album that I put out. We just learned all those songs and would play all those
Okay.
live.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting all mixed up at the. We're weaving around the timeline and it's fucking my head up. I'm sorry, dude. I remember you mentioning that release already. So that was just it. So that was just you at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
now
then,
I got it all worked out, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, then a record label hit us up, and they're like, "Hey, we want to release this album, but we don't want MIDI drums. We want real drums." So then Tim and I talked about it, and we're like, "We'll just re-record everything." And I did the guitars on the second iteration of Supreme Revulsion. Yeah, then so I learned all the songs, and Nacho started learning the songs too. He never really like blast beated that fast before, so it was a challenge for like the first 2 years, but he got it.
He jumped leaps and bounds as a drummer. It was so impressive watching him just every week doing something that he couldn't do the week before. You know.
Yeah, for
Super
sure.
cool.
And for the shows that you guys were playing, like what kind of bands were you guys playing with? What was like the San Diego scene at that time?
Well, that was the cool thing. We were friends with the San Diego Pirate Punks. They were a group of bookers. And so our first show was with Insidious Discrepancy.
Hell yeah.
And then our second show was with like Warbringer and another band. Like we were always playing in support of a bigger band. And so that was our good first maybe year of performing. And so I think that probably spoiled us a little because we thought like, oh man, every show is just going to be with a really, awesome big band.
Yeah.
And then we started playing a lot of more local shows with a lot of the local San Diego bands, which I'm trying to think like, do you mind if I start like name dropping, or is that?
Sure.
Yeah,
Go
go
for
for it.
it, dude.
Yeah, there's a band called Suntorn. They're from our area, and they haven't released stuff in a while, but the last I heard from them, they were kind of like a slamming deathcore kind of band, but they were just heavy as shit. And then of course there's Parasitic.
I was just about to say that was the band that
Oh,
opened
yeah.
up for us at Brick by Brick.
Oh God, Parasitic's fucking awesome, man.
Sick.
Those
Are
guys,
they still going? Are they still going? Or is that still
they're
a thing?
back. They actually
that's what I heard,
went on
yeah.
a really long hiatus, and then they came back, and they were like playing shows again, and it's
Is it the same lineup? I remember the singer we were really cool with. I forget his name, but the like gauged ears dude. I forget his name.
They were all
But,
cool. I remember
they're all
those
super
dudes are
cool. Yeah, for sure.
One of the members came out to the Chula Vista show that Paroxysmal and
sick.
T-Law played, and we were talking. He's like, "Oh, I'm in Parasitic." I'm like, "Yeah, I've heard of you guys. I've heard you guys are coming back." And he was talking to me about it, but I don't remember what he
If I'm
played.
not mistaken, I have a Parasitic sticker on my first toolbox that I ever got.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That was one of those bands I thought was gonna like, be one of the top tier, like, like our Meeting Archaic and Inherit when back in the day. Like I thought like they were gonna be like on the touring circuit with us in the future, like because they were fucking killing it back like
Yeah.
in those San Diego days. I was like, holy shit, this band's legit, And I was so bummed to hear them breaking up. I'm so glad they came back though. They were definitely like a force in that area.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I actually heard Parasitic when Billy and I were jamming in a previous band, and I thought the same thing. Like, man, these guys are gonna be fucking huge. And then I just stopped hearing about them because I think I was listening to them through MySpace. And then one day it just was like radio silence, And it was the same with that band. I think it was Devaricate. What was it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were another band. They were either from the desert, from San Diego. They were brutal as fuck, and then they just, I think, stopped playing. So, yeah,
Shit happens, dude. Life
Yeah.
happens. It's hard to keep a band together, and even if you can, life can still get in the way of that,
Totally.
A really good documentary to watch is that you guys probably seen it, but that Anvil documentary. You ever watched that documentary on This Is Anvil?
No,
Yeah,
actually,
about-
I haven't.
I heard it was good.
I've seen
There
it.
are bands that like literally. I mean, it was like
I think
that-
I
I
have
mean,
watched it on
a
your
lot of these
recommendation.
bands. Yeah, a lot of these bands that we're talking about have like like jobs and families and stuff, and they stopped. Like they kept going. They were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna keep." And it's one of those bands that in the very beginning it has like fucking Lemmy and Lars and everyone going like, yeah, they were like at the top of their game. They were basically like everyone was like super in love with Anvil, and then they just never quite got the cusp of like making it. But they like from that documentary won a bunch of awards and stuff, and then they're like going out and playing shows and like selling out shows now finally when they're like 50 60 years old, but they like were right on the cusp of just being one of those bands, like fuck, it's cool to see like a lot like those death metal bands from back in the day. Like I mean with death metal usually they just stopped because they can't afford stuff because like rent's expensive and stuff. And so like they're finally like fuck it, I can't do it anymore. But it's cool seeing bands that like they go through that and you play with them back when they're starting out, and then they stop for a while, and then they're like they haven't established whatever, they got their job or whatever, and they come back and they're like fuck it, let's do it again. You know what I mean? I've seen actually a lot of those incarnations of bands where they're just like, we miss doing this, we left it because of money, but now we have kind of an established situation where we can do these kind of like shows again and start playing again. So I'm starting to see that more and more as time goes on.
Totally. There's a lot of like first and second wave death metal bands coming back, like Dismember and Autopsy.
I was going to mention Autopsy. Yeah,
Carcass. I'd say Carcass is like the best example.
It's like it's like Maryland Death Fest. Like you see like the bands on there. It's just like okay, that band's been gone for 15 years, like 20 years, 12 years, and they're just all playing one show. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like an opportunity for them to get back together and start jamming again. It's
Demolich.
Awesome.
Demolich is touring America doing some select shows. That's gonna be sick. They like still have just like that one record and like the 2 songs after it from like 92 or whatever, but I'm still down as fuck to go see that shit 30 years later.
I think is this the last, speaking of Maryland Death Fest, they're saying it's the last year probably, right?
Yeah, this is the last one probably.
And it's like,
oh really?
It's this weekend?
It's happening right now. Yeah.
Right now it's happening.
Deeds is playing that, right?
Yeah, I know. That's one thing. I want to see Deeds play more shows, especially closer to their home area. But yeah, they're doing like cool fests and like they're going overseas and stuff and doing stuff. So that's kind of like the dream a little bit. Like when you get in the retirement bands, like when you're like, fuck it, we'll just play festivals and like, go travel and then like, be done. But
I think do a couple home shows, dude. Come on.
I know, like do a couple. do a warm up home show, dudes. Come on.
Come
like
on, dude.
You don't want to go straight to like a humongous festival. Like that's like a nightmare. It's like
too much.
With Maryland Death Fest, the same thing. Like we talked about this on other previous podcasts. Bands will be like, "Yeah, we're coming back," and they just like come back and they like get all practice and stuff, and they just never play a show, and then they just go after like like 92 years and just play like a fucking like a 3,000 person show and like a freak like. And those festivals are fucking like hurry up, change over. Like it's not like
Well,
it's gonna be mellow and chill, and then you could get your stuff on stage and you'll get. It's like no, hurry the fuck up. Like fucking, you got like a 10-minute changeover. There's like 90 bands. Like you got to hurry up, you know. So that's got to be a stressful situation to come back and
I bet
play,
they
you know?
fucking crush the shit out of everybody at that place. They
Oh,
sound
yeah.
killer in that video. I'm sure you guys were just talking about it. They sound fucking awesome.
oh,
Yeah, they're
Deeds?
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That Deeds
Oh,
video.
yeah, they sound really
Fuck.
good.
It's crazy, like hearing like you're hearing Deeds of Flesh sounds, and you're just seeing like Ivan and Craig there, and it just sounds like perfect Deeds.
Yeah.
Like my brain like was like, what the fuck? Like I don't know. It's kind of like, I mean, you still got Jacoby there, which is
Yeah.
like the
And
voice of
you
that
got
band.
fucking
You got Mike,
Hamilton
but
holding it down for everybody.
just seeing like Ivan, like when you're someone you've grown up with, just in Deeds, just going like, just
Yeah,
like
dude.
being part of that. You're like, fuck, man.
He
It's crazy.
was a year younger than I think he's a year younger than me. And little fucking Ivan just coming up to the us. He showed up with a bass and a bong, dude. That was what he showed up for his carnivorous tryout, dude. And
He was
I
a
opened the
guitar,
door.
wasn't he? He was guitar.
He was trying out for I'm sorry, I did say bass, but he was playing. He had another guy who didn't Mike. He didn't make it in the band, but yeah, he was playing guitar.
I remember like Dan Kenny and you introduced me to him, and we're going out to go get some booze or something, and we're at the Thunderdome, and we're walking around, and Dan's like, this fucking guy's like way better than me at guitar. He's also shit is shredding me, dude. Fuck this guy.
And I will say, like, even with him being in Carnivorous, I saw him constantly improve in the time that he was in the band, to where at the end of it, I was just like, dude, Ivan's fine, dude. He's gonna go fucking do great things, and here we are, dude.
It's talented as fuck. But anyways,
yeah,
I don't even know where we were. This
the Chupacabra.
Really?
Shout out Chupacabra.
Shout Chupa.
So yeah, Paroxysmal playing shows, getting started. Then you guys do another album. Were you guys on MySpace too? Is that kind of the era where the band like launched?
It was in its like very like infancy phase. The songs were like just the worst. I would record them on Audacity, but the band was known more for like the memes that we'd post than for the music itself. And then yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But
I liked that one song you had on MySpace, bro.
which one?
I don't know,
know.
man. It's like how we connected. I heard it and I'm like, this is sick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's Billy should probably. Well, me and Billy met because we used to play in another band, prog death metal band called Black Ambulance from like San Diego.
True.
But
I like that name.
yeah, we fell out of contact for years, and then one day I just look up, like, hey, I'm gonna look up Billy. I find him, we start talking, and he's like, hey, I've been listening to your stuff. Like, join the band. So he did, and but
Wait, I have a quick question. Now I'm second guessing myself. Did you say Black Ambulance or Ambience?
oh, Ambulance.
Thank you. I like that one way better.
Hell yeah.
I was like, Black Ambience wouldn't be that cool, but Black Ambulance, I fucking like that concept. Like, you can't see the ambulance coming in the night, dude.
That's right. Yeah, everybody had their own like interpretation. Like one guy thought it was a hearse.
There you go. Yeah. The one that you don't make it to the hospital, you just die in it, and then they'll just keep going to the mortuary with you.
Yeah, man. I think there was some like Icelandic folktale about a black ambulance or something, which is pretty metal. I mean, anything from that part of the world.
Totally.
Hey, Joseph, could you look that up, dude?
No.
Just checking.
I'm super busy behind the scenes.
Professor.
Maybe I can look it up, dude. I'll become the. I'm gonna become the.
He's
like,
grading papers as he's
Yeah.
on the
Oh.
show right now.
Yeah.
And don't look up Iron Black Ambulance, whatever you do. Because like I would tell my family, like, yeah, I'm in Black Ambulance. And you'd YouTube Black Ambulance, but Iron Black Ambulance would come up. And it was like their number one video was like this fat dude in like a hula skirt like shaking this giant dildo around and like flopping himself in the face. Like, but it was a metal band. But so people would see that shit and like, well, metal band.
Well,
and
look what Billy's into now.
So, yeah, right. Billy's coming on up in the world.
He's changing the scene.
Wonder what Iron Black Ambulance is up to.
All right, that I will look up actually.
Wow.
Yeah, link up
He's
the
like,
bot.
I gotta take
right,
a break
yeah.
from the papers for this one.
Yeah. Totally. So B plus. Okay,
Well,
what was that?
Let's. Is this a good spot to dig into Billy for a second?
Do it.
Let's get the origin story of Billy T Boy. Is that what it said? Billy T Boy?
Yeah, buddy.
That's what's up, dude. Let's hear your origins, brother.
All right, let's do it. I guess it all starts with my dad was and is a drummer. So I always had like a drum set in the house. So that's kind of the opposite of every drummer's story, right? Because they're like, yeah, I thought the drums were cool, so I set up a bunch of pots and pans,
Yeah,
and annoyed my parents and shit. But that wasn't me. I mean, it was like encouraged.
totally.
Yeah, which is fucking rad.
Super.
And so I had the drums, and then they were always kind of there. I was always playing them a little bit, jamming with buddies here and there, even from like age 10 onward. But as far as like the musical stylings, I don't know why, but I always maybe it's just the time I grew up, but it was like when I started paying attention to music, it was still like kind of hair metal times. Or as far as I knew, I didn't know about death metal or anything yet, but I thought Skid Row was the coolest fucking band on the planet.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Still kind of do.
They're sick as
If
fuck.
you listen
Yeah,
to
they're
some
sick,
of
yeah.
their like non-hair bandy shit, like the later albums, it's pretty good.
We're through the age where we have to fucking care about what people think about what we like, guys. All right, let's just fucking admit it all, dude. Like, I love so much shit that if the like serious death metal guys who are like odious mortem metal, fuck yeah, and then I say I'm like down with like these hip hop projects or experimental indie rock and all this kind of shit, they'll be like, fuck this guy, But I'm just like, dude, this is what I fucking like, dude. I like to listen to like anything that just gets my blood flowing, dude. It doesn't matter what genre of music it is, dude.
Hell yeah. It's more metal when you don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like it kind of goes with the whole like rebelling thing, back when you're younger, you know what I mean? Like
it's like a reverse.
Death metal.
It's a reverse.
Yeah, it's like
now,
like all of a sudden now you're in a death metal band and you're like, and everyone's like, well, fuck it, you can't do that. You're like, I can't do that. Whatever, dude. Fucking, I'm going to Tears for Fears in a couple days. Fuck you guys. Like, I'm gonna be like sitting there like, it's like rebelling against.
Yeah, and Tim's rocking the Joy Division
be.
shirt. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
My favorite blouses.
Hell yeah.
RIP, by the way, to the fucking keyboardist of Depeche Mode passed away.
Oh yeah,
dude.
It's just like, fuck God.
And then the drummer of Yes passed away today, and then fucking
other fucking crazy shit.
Goodfellas.
This is our vacation away from all of that.
Ray
Right
Liotta.
now,
Ray Liotta. Yeah.
Fuck,
yeah.
man.
I know. I know. It's like one day I'm like sick, dude. It's like Cher's birthday. I'm like, happy birthday.
I want to see a list of everybody who's still alive. That's what I want to see. There's a list of just people. I'll read that all day. Like, sick, dude. Give me everybody like, fuck yeah, dude. You made it another day. You made it another day. Like, fuck. It seems like the list is too long the other way right now.
I know. It's fucked.
All right, come on.
Rainbows, unicorns.
I just talked about joy. Let's not divide ourselves with division.
Don't you put on
Let's
some...
bring it back. Let's bring our spirits back up with a little Skid Row.
Yeah, back into.
By the way,
Yeah.
T-Boy with the drums, dude.
let the record show I am making no apologies for Skid Row. They're still my favorite band ever.
Yeah.
But I will. The reason I point out the difference in albums is like the first album was like just hair metal. I mean, it was still sick, but later on they got like thrashier or something. They got like crazy. So that kind of like colors it establishes my trajectory out of like toward more heavy. It was always heavier and heavier, even when I was young. So I don't know. And then like after that, it would have been new metal, like in my middle school or high school years, which we all did the new metal thing. and then Metallica and stuff like that. At a certain point, I joined a Christian rock band with my cousins.
Nice.
And so that was my first like actually drumming in a band, like playing shows. So that was pretty cool. I was like, hey, this is, people like come and watch us, and this is like a very tiny glimpse of what it is to be a rock star.
Were they originals or covering?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we had a million fucking songs. Like we were getting pretty good, but we went into the studio to record, and I was like almost done with the drum tracking, and the guy like something happened to the recordings and we lost them all, and then we just fucking broke up for some other reason, and that was the end of that. But noteworthy just because it was my first band experience, and those guys were introducing me to some legit metal, like, and I didn't really even know what death metal was yet, but like aside from Pantera they got me into, which is the fucking sickest band ever, obviously, but that kid was bringing over like X-Toll, if you guys know them. They're like,
hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. X-Toll should be fucking way more famous than they are. Those guys deserve so much love. And like, I didn't even know what I was hearing. I just knew it was rad. And like,
have you ever heard of Crimson Thorn?
No. Is that
they're a Christian death metal band? Like,
yeah,
I
have
brutal Christian death metal band.
Yeah, they got a couple of them out there, but I mean, the Christianity was neither here nor there. That's the only reason it made it from him to me, because it was the Christian rock band. So that was probably one of like the 3 heavy bands he was allowed to listen to,
right?
Just because they were Christians.
I was just thinking the back and forth situation, because there is plenty of Christian music that I've listened to and actually enjoyed, but the opposite, like the Christians coming and listening to like Deicide, they wouldn't be able to do that. It's against the rules. They wouldn't be able to enjoy Deicide because it's against the rules. But I like Deicide, and I also like X-Toll, and because I don't really give a shit about what either one of them fucking are talking about.
I think you're right in general, but I have known people that are Christian that do appreciate bands like Deicide and stuff. They just kind of laugh at it and stuff in a different way.
I mean they're all from the same book,
Yeah,
they're just worshiping a different part of the story.
It's like watching horror movies. Like, you can't watch The Exorcist because I'm Christian or something,
Right?
And it's like, dude, Glenn Benton is, he's the incarnation of musical demonic possession, right? So it's entertaining, dude.
Indeed.
You don't have to like believe in it to listen, so. But it's a good point that it is true that a lot of people like can't. They're like not allowed.
He's right. Dude,
he's
especially
totally right.
when you were younger.
Yeah, for sure.
You asked half the metalheads, probably like had a similar, like their parents were Christian and like didn't, you weren't really allowed to bring that shit into the house because it just sounds like a dude like screaming his guts out or dying or praising somebody. Like it just, I don't know, man. They
yeah. Totally.
So I see, or like if you're Christian and you're listening to like Deicide, you may enjoy the music and be a metalhead and everything, but there's gonna be a little like guilty twinge going the whole time. So I don't know.
I get it, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, I insist.
No, I was gonna say and then from that point, so after that band broke up. You said I forget where you were going from there. So the Christian rock group broke up. Where did you move from there?
Yeah, man. So that was over. I didn't really do anything for a while.
But kept playing on your own, right? Never stopped playing.
Yeah. So that's when I started getting into like Slipknot and shit with like the faster drums and double bass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I could do it like Joey, but like just being able to kind of limp my way through those songs was like where I finally realized like I might be down to do death metal drumming. Yeah. Like that shit was fun to play. Like to see yourself finally be able to play that.
That's the perfect bridge to
absolutely
death metal, I think, It's what got me there. And as a drummer, I would say that going up to that point, finding that type of drumming, executing that type of drumming would be easily your way in to death metal.
Well, yeah, and I've parlayed it into my style today. I mean, I still do those little like gallopy Joey fills. It's like a lot of hands and a couple feet mixed in and rinse and repeat. I don't know. Any Joseph knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I used to abuse the shit out of that just as like an energy saving measure. But yeah, so the Slipknot, whatever. And eventually, like, I still didn't really know what death metal was, but at a certain point in college, somebody played me that Demu album, that fucking sick Demu album from like
Puritanical?
2000. Yes.
Yeah.
And that at that point, and I heard the blast beats, and my buddy, I was like, why is that so sick? Like, what is that? He's like, it's a blast beat. And I'm like, all right, well, that's the end of that then.
The way that album starts, it's just probably the most epic way a metal album starts, dude.
You just you
with
can't
that
fuck
with
with that album.
with the keys in the beginning, and then
That riff is sick.
and fucking Nick Barker with his just fucking you're just like I loved it, dude, and I still do.
Yeah, hey, did we lose a couple people?
Oh, they just, if they probably got to go pee, they just decided that they don't cut me off. They leave my chair empty because they want to fuck with me, but they'll take themselves out if they got to go pee.
Yeah, I didn't know that was an option. I thought I was just boring them with my.
Oh, you can get up whenever you want, dude. No. No, you're not boring anybody. They're probably just finding the time to
better not be, dude. When you're talking about Demo, I had that CD on repeat at my house for like 6 months, man. I have it memorized front to back. It's so goddamn good.
As a young man too, that cover
That's right.
is just, who's into metal, that cover will pull you in quick, dude.
And yeah, that's right. Well, I think I fucking burned that shit. So sorry, Demu. I owe you $19.99. But yeah, I must have Googled it at some point because there's definitely some titties.
That was actually an album that I anticipated coming out. I had gotten into Demu and Throne Darkness Triumphant. And then after that was Spiritual Dimensions.
And Spiritual Black Dimensions was sick too, but it didn't have the production. It didn't have the crazy drums.
You're right, dude. And then Nick Barker comes in the mix and they get the good production, and boom, you're getting punched in the face that whole record, dude.
Yeah, you guys get into Old Man's Child?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
What was that one? I can't remember the name of that album, but there's some really sick double bass on some of those albums pre-Barker too, because Barker was only on some of the later ones.
I think he was on In Defiance of Existence.
Yeah.
Like 2003 or around there.
But yeah, that's kind of like that incestual thing that happens in Cali and Florida and all these hot spots for a bunch of different bands. Like it ends up being that, you know, Galder is in Old Man's Child, Demu and Excess, blah blah blah. You know, it kind of, we all keep each other like afloat, you know, in those scenes, and you see it in Norway too. It's like, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be a concentrated place where everybody's like creative at the same time. And then you get an Old Man's Child, you get a Demu. They did splits together before they were in each other's bands, you know. And
yeah.
All right, we're not here for all those. Oh wait, no, sorry, Tim, you wanted to add to that?
Well, I just want to say, you bring up an awesome point, because when I first got into Unique Leader Records, that's what I loved about that record label, is that you would look at all the promo pics of the bands, and every member was wearing another band from Unique Leader's shirt.
Yeah.
It was like everybody represented one another, and it was so fucking cool. And then you'd look through the CD book, and so many members were on different albums, and that just blew my mind, because where I lived as a kid, there were no other metalheads. And so it was like, there are places where there's just an abundance of metalheads where everyone just hangs out and plays death metal together. Like, it blew my mind. But when you said that, it just made me think of that.
Yeah, it just happened. There's like concentrations of it, I guess, you know, and then people find each other too. Like Santa Cruz was Decrepit Birth, Odious Mortem, Animosity, A Stratosphere. Like all those bands were kicking it together all around the same time, because we all had the same motivations. We all were using each other to, you know, inspire each other and compete with each other, kind of in a happy, you know, go lucky way. Yeah. And that's what scenes are, dude. And I think that scenes are super important. I hope that and I would love to hear people come on this show and tell me about brand new scenes that are bubbling up, you know. And I'm sure in the past episodes, all the weed that I smoke, I can't remember right now, but there's new scenes that are popping up everywhere, and I think that those are very important, and I hope that they progress and succeed and spread out. I mean, just finding new pockets of and hearing, like everybody talks about the Cali sound, the Florida sound, the New York sound. It's like, let's hear a fucking random spot sound that's different from everything else. It'll happen, dude. It just needs enough concentration and inspiration, creativity, and venues to go have local shows.
You know, there's I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
Kingman,
that's fine.
Arizona. Kingman, Arizona is such a fucking hotbed of excitement for music. When you go
Yep.
through there, any show you play that's death metal in Kingman, they will pack the place and they will lose their fucking minds.
That's
And
awesome.
one of the bands that's like leading the way in that area is Oppressor God. Those guys are fucking insane. They are so technical and so fast and so heavy. And it's like it's just the sound. It sounds like that area where it's like, what do you do all day? I sit in the sun and I play my guitar until I'm really fucking good, you know? Because it's like that's what they do out there. They just practice their music. And so when you hear Oppressor God, it sounds like that's what those guys do. Right
Mhm.
now, they're actually doing their album with what's that drummer's name? He's like a drummer for hire. I think it's like Robin Stone.
Yep.
Yeah, they're working with him right now.
Oh,
So that
Robin.
oh
Yeah. Robin
Little-
from he was in the Amenta, and then also in
Oh, yeah.
Praxis too. Yeah,
I just see
Robin.
him with everybody, and I'm like, man, that guy's fucking amazing.
The guy from Australia you're talking about, Robin?
Yeah,
I
right?
don't
Yeah,
know
he
where
listens to
he's
the
from.
pod.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
That's
no, he's
awesome.
one of
What up,
close
Robin?
friends.
We're gonna
Yeah,
do an
no.
episode with
Yeah.
him eventually.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yes.
No, the videos he's posting recently. I'm like, holy shit, man! Like, I mean, I know he was amazing back in the day, but like some of the shit I'm watching him post nowadays, I'm like, dude, he is like stepping up his game so hard. I remember the Amenta, and it was it was Augury or Neuraxis, one of the bands, one of those Canadian bands that he like the drummer like last second couldn't make it, and he's like, whatever, I like learned the set in a week in Australia, and then did a double duty. And then he got fucking swine flu on tour, and then still fucking did both sets. He was sitting there like covered
Jeez.
Fuck
he
yeah.
was covered in covered in towels and shit, and just like we're like, oh, you
Those
know,
people, they have different genetics, dude. Like the Gabe Siebers and that type of dude. Like Joseph is on his way to getting there probably in like 5 years. We're going to be seeing him in
Yeah.
that little camp of just monumental drummers that just learn shit super fast, and they're just like, I don't know. It's something about your guys' DNA that's different, because all that sounds like I would have quit there. I would have quit there. I would have quit, you know, a week into it. I've been like, nah, dude.
Well,
Fuck, I think Joseph's already there, honestly.
well, it's funny. I was in touch with the Oppressor God dudes about doing a double duty tour with them, where I would play for them, and it hasn't come through, so it won't happen at this point. But I was like, yo, like, let me just learn a song and I'll send you footage just so you know I can do it. So I like sent a video of a song and they were like really stoked on it. And so shout out Dalton and Justin for fucking
just bands we've never heard of. Like Joseph's just like, yeah, dude, I'm like playing with them too, bro.
but then
Yeah.
and
every
I
band
hit
that's
up
ever named,
I hit up
he's like,
Oppressor too, dude. I sent him a cover.
yeah, and then I saw
Yeah.
Robin do his usual video for, you know, his band of the week that he's recording that week, and it's Oppressor God, and it's the fucking song that I worked on, and Robin's version of it was like super humbling. I'm like, all right, yeah, good choice, guys, for going with Robin in the studio, because it was like, I mean, my whole point was to show I can do it live, and he was doing like a segment where he probably focused more on it, but dude, that guy's so fucking good. I'm like, you know, I'm not there yet. I'll say that. I'm like,
Robin's
I wanna
like
be
a
there.
I don't even want to watch
He-
that.
yeah, Robin's like a one thing about Robin that I didn't really know, and just knowing him over the last 10 or 15 years, is that he's like a farmer style, like Australian guy. Like he's out like in the woods and like fucking splitting like, you know, he's like a real like kind of just a hard worker, old school farmer. Like he's
Yep.
like fucking the most cut human ever. Like he's got like all the muscles and shit, but he always like he looks all skinny and frail and stuff. And then one time he took off his shirt and was like chopping logs on one of his videos or something. I'm like, Jesus, dude, you're like a fucking bodybuilder. I had no idea. But no, he's just one of those like kind of, I guess, Australian corn-fed kind of like tough.
Yeah, see, I knew
outdoorsy
you were
kinda
gonna.
guy.
You know what's funny is I was thinking corn-fed, which is not even true. Like corn is not going to get you.
I know. What
to
would you
be
call it out in Australia?
No, I know,
Like
but that's an
fucking-
American way of saying it. I was like, what would be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Australian version of saying corn-fed? Like fucking Vegemite
Kangaroo
fed
meat.
or
Vegemite.
That shit boosts your testosterone. That's what the UFC guys say when they get popped for juicing. They're like, yeah, I ate a little too much kangaroo meat. I'm sorry. Not steroids, I swear.
Kangaroo meat.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
that's good.
Esther Overeem was saying he was eating horse meat? That's why he bulked up like 150 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, some shit like that.
but then you
Robin-
say but then you say horse, everybody's like, what the fuck is this guy eating? But then you say elk, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's fine. And it's like they're not that far off of each other. You
Yeah,
know?
what's up?
But shout
Send me
out
some
Robin.
horse. Send me some horse. P.O. Box.
There's
Send me
a
some horse.
there's a local news channel that did a bit on Robin that was like, local Australian drummer records death metal in like a converted fucking storage crate, like the kind that gets, you know, shipped across the the ocean. Like he configured one of those and he like has it built into a fucking like mountainside. It's crazy that there's like drone footage of it in the video, so you can look that shit up. I think he shared it before. So shout out Robin, we'll get you on here.
Hell yeah.
Kill that
Yeah,
oppressor
love
god.
that guy.
Yep. And then oppressor god, let's go in the future. But anyway, so Human Smasher.
Well, weren't we were like so far in the weeds, we totally lost where we were at with Billy again.
We left off at Demu, and I mean that was like that bell was rung at that point. So it's death metal all the way. It just got heavier and heavier from there. I was in college, so I had a ton of fucking time to burn and download songs. And I don't know. I mean, eventually I ended at like Origin, and it doesn't get much gnarlier than that. So, and yeah, Black Ambulance with Tim kind of fell in there at a certain point, but then that band shit the bed. And then I hit a wall drumming at that point. Like I was capped out at like 200 BPM, like across the board, like hands and feet, mostly feet were like my limiting factor. And I just couldn't fucking figure it out. I thought I just sucked or something, and I was just over it. So I quit for like 10 years.
No shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, the fun and games were over at that point. Like it was like 07, 08 when fucking like Bear Stearns was like all the banks were failing. I had to get a job. I was freshly out of college. And it was just like I had no time to be fucking about like trying to join death metal bands. So I just
did you quit enough to where you actually sold your kit?
No, I never did that. There wasn't
Okay.
much to sell. If anything, my pedals were like the only thing of value. Maybe a couple cymbals. But I've always been a caveman drummer, so I don't know what I had back then, but I'm sure it was shit. And yeah, I mean, then finally, yeah, like Tim said, he hit me up. I don't know when, 2019, whenever, a couple years ago, and I had just gotten back into the drums, like thankfully a few months before that, because I was in no shape.
What inspired you? What inspired you to get back into it those couple months before that?
Good question. So the main thing was my brother. He's a musician. He had it wasn't a metal band. It's like just rock and whatever, but like fun to play. I like it a lot. He's like, I need somebody to play this show with me. And he knew I was into his shit and he wanted me on the drums. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And I just got like super into it. I was like, it's been like a long ass time since I've drummed live. So I got to kind of not fuck around and I got to like practice and get into it. And there was this like drum solo I had to learn. So I really I kind of took it seriously. And then once that was over, once we played the show and it was over, like I've still not done anything with him since, but it was over. And I'm like, I kind of still like the routine of like practicing every day and it's getting fun again.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, I mean, I'm a metalhead at heart. It's pretty rare that I rock out to like play my drums to something that's not extremely fast death metal.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just get back into the death metal. But the difference this time is that it's fucking 2019. So like it was the Stone Ages before. There was no YouTube. I was too poor to like pay somebody for lessons. People weren't as fast anyway as they are now. And so fast forward 10 years, you got YouTube with like 50 dudes telling you how to do heel toe and get it to sound sick if you just set your triggers and pedals up the right way. I mean, it takes some practice, but fucking. So I did that. I'm like, my feet always sucked with singles. Now I'm gonna go to doubles. Took me a minute, and I learned those. And then I started fucking around with a lot of doubles and just like different form with my hands for the hand shit. And yeah, I owe my drumming career to YouTube pretty much, and just like more being able to connect more with people, you know, now versus 10 years ago, which you guys are part of that too. I mean, fucking not necessarily directly to me, but I'm sure there's like people out there. You guys are just like spreading the word and helping connect people way easier than it was back in the day. Like I don't even know. I guess MySpace would have been the move back in the day.
MySpace was what we were working with. There was no
was huge.
Facebook. There was no Facebook when Odious, you know, took their hiatus. You know, I think there was Facebook when Sever did that tour, but yeah. we were old school like that too, and now we are a band that is working in the newer climate. But the doubles thing is, you know, people argue about it, and I'm not really one way or the other with it, because I'm just like, hey, dude, that in being able to find that technique inspired Billy T Boy to get on his skins and start beating the fuck out of them again. He just found a new way to beat him. And you actually found the code, that you cracked the code to what you know felt was hindering you before, and now you've broken through that ceiling, and you know, now you're progressing as an artist, and you can do more that you couldn't do before. So it's like there's the, you know, leaning one way or the other about, you know, the guys are like, oh, doubles are cheating, but it's like, well, it doesn't fucking matter, dude, because inspiration is number one, creativity is number two.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people that are on the doubles or cheating thing, but there are some drummers that are like outspoken about it. But yeah, there's definitely, I mean, Longstreth and shit like that, you know, those are like,
well,
the guys
I'm
that
just
kinda
saying,
got that
after how many episodes we've done there, we've, you know, silently sit back and listen to these drummers, and we know the guys who say that they have their opinions about doubles and the guys who don't, you know. So it is like a back and forth thing that has been happening, but like, I guess nobody brought it up tonight, so I'm sorry that I'm bringing up this whole double cheating thing when you're talking about it. But I was making the point of like,
drums, that'd be sick.
I was making the point that it doesn't matter, because you took a decade off of your instrument and you came back, used your muscle memory plus new skills that were found during that 10 years that you took your break, and you took advantage of it. And that's fucking the sickest, dude. I love that story.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, maybe it's cheating, maybe it's not. I think
I shouldn't use that fucking word. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that, because I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
I didn't want to mean it like that.
Cheating depends on like what rules you set for yourself, essentially. So if you're a super old school metal musician and you're like, fuck it, singles all the way, then yeah, you probably think it's cheating, but you're also not going to be playing fucking, you know, 300 BPM kicks.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah. I mean, like if John Longstreth is cheating, then I'll fucking be a cheater all day.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I don't. I mean, that just sounds like a lot of haterade to me. But I will say this. Now they're kind of, if you're talking about me, I'm technically cheating a little bit, because I sucked so much shit when I was just doing singles. I don't know if it's because I had my pedals set up wrong, or I just like, I don't know what it was. I just sucked, dude. But like, once I started with those doubles on the feet and started doing it with my hands, I mean, I just got so much faster and more stamina, to the point now, like, I don't ever want to have to go back to singles. I'm fucking useless without my double. So I will caution people about that. It can become somewhat of a crutch, you know, that and triggers and everything else. But I don't know. That's just, I'm playing a game where those are the rules and they're acceptable. So I want to play fucking fast and accurate. And that's how I can do it the best and the most efficiently without like blowing out my hips.
Right.
And that's how I roll. But to each
no,
their own.
Dude, Exactly. And that's kind of what I was getting to. I shouldn't use all the terminology that I did because I'm not that guy that would be
How dare
taking
you? How
that
dare you,
stance.
sir?
I know. cupping is cheating, dude.
Hey,
Fuck you.
Joel, you're supposed.
Oh, don't even say that. I was,
I know Anthony does cupping. I was trying to.
I don't cup.
You cup a little bit for certain yells.
I do. I hold the mic just like this.
No, but no for certain yells.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I used
just
to
trying
do
to-
it like this because I didn't have the
I'm
projection.
trying to think like for guitar, like what's cheat like now that you said cheating, now we're just like we're stuck on like this like word cheating. It's like a bad shroom trip. But
Down
pedals?
picking versus.
If you don't
I mean,
down pick everything, you're cheating.
yeah, there you
can
go.
never
That-
alter
that's
your
like-
thing.
That's actually a very good to the 1
pretty much
foot blast
identical.
versus 2 foot blast. Like you have to down like you have to alternate pick that. Well, why don't you just fucking down pick it? But and it's like the Gorgasm school of guitar
But-
back in the day was like we down pick everything, like we down pick all this shit, which is gnarly. Like I have a natural twitch, so I could do it kind of, but I didn't work on it. It's just like something I just like got like via my dad was like a really good I'm just kidding. Like genetically, he just used to masturbate a bunch. But like
Genetically.
no,
Nothing
but
wrong
I
with
don't.
that.
Nah,
Fuck
but
yeah,
the whole
brother.
there's
Go
no
for it,
cheating,
Casey.
dude. It's all just blown out of proportion. It's all just
Well, no,
foosball and hoodwinking and
reason
all
to
this
argue
kind
The
of.
whole
Facebook.
point is,
Yeah.
what is your goal? Are you like
yeah, but-
Elliot said?
but
you
nobody
can't play a
cares,
300
though.
plus BPM.
Remember
band.
Casey on tour with remember we were
Nobody
on tour
cares,
with
you know, that's the thing.
I think we were on tour with Origin or something, and I remember Casey was like trying to learn the doubles. Casey was like, "Fuck this is like way too hard." You were like,
Yeah, I
remember
can't
you, like,
even
sitting
really
there-
do those with my feet. My right foot can, and my left foot, I can't keep
Yeah,
it consistent like anything I would ever put on paper that I can do with my feet, like the double. So with my hands, of course, but like, yeah, no, I'd suck at it. So
When
you
I
know.
I first saw the
Totally.
technique with Spencer, when Severed played a show with Son
yeah.
of Aurelius, and it was post Son of Aurelius set. Spencer just sat while we were playing pool, and he just put his pedals right up against the wall, dude. And while I was playing pool, I was watching him, dude, and I was watching his feet and listening to how many hits I was hearing from the hammers, and I was like, holy shit, dude. You find this flow that actually looks pretty fucking, it looks cool as fuck when you're watching, and it's like it's physics. It's like tapping into physics,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I think the whole, like, there's not really hate towards the, like it's all just kind of a joke. Like it's all just
I fucking
They-
despise myself
Yeah.
for bringing it up like
no,
that.
but I'm just clearing that. Like basically, I just think that like it's all that's the new thing, and I think that it's rad. Like
Yeah.
like I think that, and we all think that too. And like it's even when Longstreth started doing it, I thought it was killer back then. I was like the mid 2000s. I thought it was cool that he was doing that. That's my opinion. But I can't do it, and if something I can't do that other people can do, I think is interesting and impressive. And I do think it's sick to be able to go to certain tempos and do, so for me, I think it'd be cool to do like a mix. Like I wish I could do like what I do, my style, and then like be able to just go at like 300 and just do a fucking motor like crazy.
Yeah.
I wish I could, man. Maybe someday I'll figure it out, but I don't know, so, but, it's like I said with the 1 foot thing. It's like even back in the day, like I started off, I got to play the 1 foot blast. I got to do it. And it does, I do think it sounds really cool. Like there's a certain style to it, but like, I kind of started to realize I was like, well, like no one's going to follow me home and give me a ticket for like doing 2 feet, or like, I'm not going to get in trouble. I could, and I got to play a lot of tours and sets. And I just wanted to, and like I said, okay. A big thing about the 1 foot thing that I hate to get one more thing is the Suffo blast. So does anybody do a Suffo blast with 1 foot? Because that's so to me, that would be like really,
Yeah.
Not really. I don't.
You
see
won
it
for
Yeah,
often.
like
Suffo's got to be a
split
2 foot.
times, right?
It's just the feel of, to me, I've always done a Suffo 2 foot, like, right. And I've
Yeah.
always seen Mike Smith do it that way. And like, I mean, I don't know, so for me, when you're playing a style where you have more of the Cali Suffos, like, or I mean, it's not Cali, it's really New York, but taking the Suffo style that we love with a lot of our kind of brutal Cali shit, and like doing that and Discourage and all that, like you got to switch between splits and Suffos all the time. That's hard to do 1 foot and then 2 foot and then 1 foot. So that's another concept. If you try to do everything split to Suffo 1 foot, it's just, I don't know, man. That's just awkward. I don't know.
Is it hard to explain a Suffo blast? Just because I mean, Just because
A shuffle blast is just when everything's in line.
I can
like,
do it. Yeah, I can do it. I was just about to
Like,
say
all, like,
everything
people
hits
that-
at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah, you know.
No
all
matter
done
how
with-
you do your feet or your
Like-
hands,
like
everything has to hit at the exact same time.
You know, this right.
Oh, okay.
Everything's it's eighth
Gotcha.
notes in sync.
Oh,
like
gotcha.
And then the split
yeah.
time is like basically like a thrash beat with a
split
half
time is
on
the
the right
is the beat
hand.
sound of it. It's like a split. It's like a shuffle, but it's split, right? It's
Your
right,
right
left,
hand
right.
and your left, or your right hand and right foot go at the same
The
time.
original split is supposed to be a 1 foot, right foot and right hand doing eighth notes, and then the left
Yeah.
hand's doing 16th notes, offsetting that.
Joseph's going to show
All
it.
right, Joseph.
Or if you call
so-
it 30 seconds, whatever. Yeah.
All right,
all right,
so
we,
this is
we can't talk while he's doing it because it cuts it off.
All right.
this is split. So
Okay.
sped up would be.
Okay.
You
Okay.
probably can't hear that too well, huh?
No, we did. We did.
All right,
might
and
be a
then
little tappy.
Suffo together is, you know. So.
Okay.
All right.
So
it's all-
when you speed up really fast, they don't sound too different. But yeah, the alternate blasting or offset blast, as Diego calls it, is like
offset. Yeah.
I like that offset. That really
you got muted there,
takes
Joseph.
speeds.
You're muted, buddy. Somehow. I don't know what happened. I heard you a second ago. Maybe something got moved.
Just yell louder, Joseph. Yell louder.
But yeah. So, anyways, but so I don't know what you guys think about all. But yeah, I just think that like if you're doing mostly split blasts, or you're playing in like 6/8 time, or kind of whatever that like form of a triplets thing, and you're doing a lot of double bass and all that, then it's like the 1 foot works out great, But like if you're doing this like 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 the kind of the shit that you guys play, or like the brutal stuff, like this. I don't know. With Sofo Blast, it's just be weird to do all that 1 foot. I don't know. I think does anyone do that? I've never even seen anybody do that.
Yeah, that would be
That
weird.
style, like all 1 foot, be crazy. I don't
Where
know.
everything would like fall onto that one side of your body, basically. Like everything
Yeah.
plus your left hand would be doing the same thing. All right. I just
Yeah,
took
I
a
don't.
really
That
big
sounds
hit.
exhausting to me.
Right?
I
It'd be hard.
I split all my shit like. Well, I try to use every limb like equally because I know I'll be able to drum just a little bit longer if I can like spread all the energy out evenly across everything. So I've never even attempted a single foot blast.
Yeah,
I can't even play All the Small Things by Blink-182, so I'm not going to talk. I'm
Hell
muting
yeah.
myself.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I think
Where
he
am
did
going
shit
with this?
himself. Isn't that what you were saying?
Is Joseph?
Am I here?
Okay, there you go. I can hear.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
He's back.
Am I here? Okay. So maybe we can get back on the timeline to when we left off in the Paroxysmal timeline. So you guys did Supreme Revulsion, you're playing live shows, and then you do Human Smasher as the follow-up record. So tell us
Yes,
about
sir.
that fucking slab, dude.
Okay, well, we got together and let me see. This was the second album that we put out on Show No Mercy Records. We were working with them at the time. Human Smasher was kind of broken up where half of it still had the Supreme Revulsion themes of like gore and just like violence and hatred, and then the second half of the album kind of just went in a different direction and kind of got really introspective and kind of started dealing with the mind. But that was like lyrically, musically, the music stopped being like just the fast pounding death grind and kind of took on more life. And Josh and Dalton basically, when I wrote this stuff, I was worried about trying to play it live while doing vocals. Once Josh and Dalton joined the band, well, Josh and then later Dalton, it became evident that I could do whatever I wanted musically and I couldn't touch their skill. And I'm not just trying to kiss their ass because Josh and Dalton they're both awesome guitar players. So I know that when what I want to write, they could take it and play it. And so Human Smasher kind of took off from where Revulsion was really limited musically. I think that Human Smasher kind of brought a lot more to the table. That's my take on it. I don't know how Josh feels about it, but yeah.
Yeah, from a production standpoint. After the first album, I had given you a copy of Guitar Pro, and you just like went to town on it. You got really good at programming stuff in Guitar Pro, and even though the record label didn't want any MIDI drums on the album, I was like, you know what? I want to take these drums from Guitar Pro and plug them into, I forget what I was using, Slate Drums 3, and they sounded realistic. I didn't really know much about like MIDI velocities back then, but so I had everything like floored, like every hit was max volume, but it worked. It worked for that album, and I remember for like 4 months straight, Tim would come over on Fridays, and we'd like smoke a couple bowls, and I just like start recording the guitars, and like halfway through every song, I was like, you know what, dude, we need a slam right here, and we just like come up with a ridiculous slam like halfway through the song for no reason at all. So, that's why that album's like really slammy, because we're fucking high and just coming up with slams. But yeah, it was a fun album to record. I think it took us 6 months to do that one. Yeah. Yeah, and at the time, I think slam was like pretty popular, or getting there. It was 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, slam was
everyone,
always
like, kinda-
interesting to me. Like slam was like, I think I've told that story before. I had no idea the slam scene until I think about 2014. I think it was 2013, 2014 with like like Devourment and Girls Secrete and stuff like that. And seeing them play live, I had no idea it was I thought it was just a death metal band. My friends were like, hey, let's go see the death metal show. My buddy was like, let's go to Fresno and there's a big death metal show out there. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I went out there and like I had no idea that it was a thing. Like I was like thought it was just death metal. I was like, there's nothing, like, and it was only slam bands too. So I was like, slam.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. So it's a different genre outside of, I was like completely confused. And then when the heavy parts come on, people were like, and I was like, I'm completely confused. I'm like a fucking old geezer, like fucking boomer here, just going like listening to my son's band or something, going like, well, I guess that's what he likes. So, but it's like, because I didn't understand like the whole scene behind it. I was like, there's an actual kind of subsect of death metal that was into it. It was kind of a lot of girls were into it too. It's like you guys found like a death metal genre where like people with vaginas listen to it a lot, which was interesting. That was I was very impressed with that. I was like, damn, it's not like 99% like wieners. This is pretty sick. But no, man, it's entertaining, and it's like live and stuff. It's like, you get the heavy part where it gets everyone going, and like, and no matter how shitty the sound is, like if the sound sucks at the venue, it doesn't fucking matter. When the heavy part comes in, it's really hard to fuck up like
Yeah.
fucking chunky ass shit. It's really hard to fuck that up. So like
That's what a slam sounds like.
Yep. So the whole crowd could do this no matter what, no matter if it's like a, like a fucking playing in a gymnasium with like a fucking $20 PA, or like playing in a fancy place. It's like everyone can get their head down and do like the fucking get the vibe still, So that's one part about it. I was like, damn, this is like very impressive fucking style of music. Like a live style.
This day, we play a lot of songs from that album live just for that same reason. Like it just gets everyone going.
Great energy. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's like Defeated Sanity. Well, they were tech and slam at the same time, but then they did that like progressive death metal release too. It's like the opposite. Like maybe not. Don't listen to me. I'm not drinking right now, but I sound like I am.
It's under a different name, right? Or is it under that project they did? Or is it under Defeated Sanity?
Yeah.
Or no, it's called like but the album's called the name.
It has two names, right? There's like the one part that's the metal part, the one part.
Darmada is the one that I'm talking about.
God, I love Defeated Sanity, dude.
Joseph, he's still.
Yeah, sorry. I talked to Lily. So
nice.
It was a split. It was a Defeated Sanity split with themselves. One album is Disposal of the Dead. The other album is Darmada. And then going forward, when they release music under that style, it will be the band name as Dharmata.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
So yeah. And then I asked, and he said, "Yeah, no, under Defeated Sanity was a cool way to launch it, but we don't want to confuse people because people really fucking hated that they changed their style, and they were like trying to explain to all these
Why do
fucking
people
people,
do
these
that?
fucking idiots, that they didn't. It's
That's
like an ad
brilliant, man.
thing." Brutal
the
death
type
metal
of guy-
people. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the type of guy that, like, if I like a band and I actually like the artists too. So whatever they decide that their career's what they're gonna do throughout their career, I mostly support, unless it's just a curveball for me. Then I'm like, oh, I don't like that release, but I'm not gonna turn on a band because they changed their style. It's not
Send
fair,
them an
dude.
email.
It's not fair.
Let's get into the
I want to
controversy.
talk to the
tonight.
manager.
Yeah.
Talk to
Yeah.
your band's manager.
Let's get deep in that whole thing tonight.
But I mean, there is cookie cutter bands and there are the fans that love those similar records that come.
just talk to. All I have to say is just ask Diego Sanchez about.
He's got opinions.
Yeah. Oh, he's one of those.
One of those.
One of all right.
One of
I
those
like
fucking
it. I like it.
wizards, dude.
One of those wizards
He's a
that
genius.
rips it out.
He's a genius.
No, I think when people switch up their sound, I think it's sick. Like in the beginning, really into Suicide Silence, but then they came out with this crazy album like a few years ago where they completely changed their sound. They went to Ross Robinson, and I was like, dude, this is sick. This sounds like weird. And
Yeah,
I was at that. I was at the release album release show at Soma, and
right on.
I was talking to Chris Garza after the show, and I was like, dude, I was never really into you guys until this album. And he was like, really? He was like so surprised.
Well,
Was it the one was it the one with singing?
Yeah, there's a lot of singing on it.
Yeah. I need to hear that more, because I remember like them sending me like pre-prods of it, pre-production stuff, and I was like, damn, you guys are really changing it up, like, because obviously Dan, like, so some of our best friends, so he's all, what do you think about this? I'm like, damn, dude, it's gonna be a big move. And then, when a band like hits you up or like shows you something different, and they've had a style their whole time where it's been like really aggressive, and then like they're trying something different, like what's it, I think Ben from Whitechapel, same thing, like sent me when they started, like when Phil's like gonna start clean singing. I was like, I had no idea Phil could sing. Like, he's one of the like craziest like death metal like vocalists, like with his growls and shit. I have no idea that he could sing, and I'm like, oh fuck, he can sing. But I always get nervous for bands like that. Even Son of Aurelius with Carrie, like I remember, which I ended up like playing live for a little while. But when I first heard it, I was like very nervous. I was like, oh man, you guys are gonna completely just go into the clean singing thing, and just you're gonna get this backlash. And I mean, Suicide Silence got that backlash, by the way, from that album, which I actually haven't really. I need to listen to more. I mean, yeah, I have it like on CD somewhere, but who has a CD player anymore? But yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, to make that move has always like made me so nervous, like to go from like a really brutal growl style and just to just throw singing. And back when we were younger, that was the ultimate, like, nope, can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was the ultimate, like, fuck off forever kind of thing. You know what I mean? And as I get older, like, I'm just like, fucking bring it. If it's good, like, if you have a good idea or a good melodic, like, idea that can, or a vibe that you could bring to it that changes things a little differently.
So what were you like when you heard the clean vocals in new metal?
I mean, because there was me.
That's a good answer. I like it.
So new metal. I mean, because new metal was all growling, right? That's what it was the whole time before.
Yeah, exactly. No, the controversy stems from mixing brutal with clean singing. It's not about one separated to the other. We all love clean singing. We all love brutal. But that's where the controversy lies, right? It's like, oh, we can't mix them together.
But I never was part of that, because I was like a super fan of Slipknot, which had rapping, singing, and growling and screaming all in one package.
That's a point, good point, though.
So like I was like, oh, this is all acceptable to me because I enjoy this album a lot. And then
Yeah, but it's like the what you're missing is like were they like going before all that, then like started to sing randomly? That's what I'm
no,
saying.
I'm
like,
not saying that, but I'm saying
okay.
there's enough spices in the mix, you know.
But also, I'm just saying the balls it takes to make a move like that are fucking way bigger than mine. Because I'm like, they're in. They have their style. They have this thing established. They have their fan base. They have everything. They have people that have followed them for a certain amount of time. Like what you're saying with Suicide Silence. Like they have a fan base that's like been like, this is why we like them. Is the
And a lot of
brutalness
them,
and
yeah.
blah blah. And then sometimes they start maturing and being like, well, I like other styles of music. I would like to incorporate this into this style of music. And they try it, and I mean, nowadays I think it's received way better than it used to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
used to be like, I remember my friends with Cephalic Carnage even like doing the dying will be the death of me thing. Like, we had friends that were just like, fuck that. Like, I'm like, dude, they're kidding. They're like, they're doing like, they're making fun of like metalcore and stuff. They're like making fun of it, but they're like, nope, clean singing, nope, fuck that, dude, can't do it. I'm like, dude, it was so like pure back then, and now it's like, whatever, man. Like, you start like branching out and getting into other styles of music, and if you can make it sound good, then like, I don't know, go for it, man. You know?
Yeah, on the tour last night, Warforged new album has clean vocals. Fallujah new album has clean vocals.
Yep.
Rivers, the last couple albums have had clean vocals. That's like the thing in Tech Death. And I think like especially when like the Fallujah single dropped and it has like the clean vocals in the chorus, I feel like they did that really well. Shout out Kyle. And no one really batted an eye on that. And I feel like if they had done that like right after Harvest Wombs, it would have been a big thing. So I know what you mean, Joel. It's changed a lot. I think fans are more open-minded now.
And even like shout out to, again, Whitechapel, but I just saw them with Cannibal Corpse, and they're right under Cannibal Corpse. So it was like death metal, Whitechapel, Cannibal Corpse. And they decided to do like all their clean singing songs, like right under Cannibal Corpse. And I was like, everyone was kind of sitting there and like they were kind of like bewildered a little bit, like, fuck, Whitechapel's supposed to be kind of like this, like, the gurgly like growling stuff. And they were just like, no, we're gonna do like our fucking singing songs. And I was like, dude, your balls are so big.
Doesn't
like,
doesn't that remind you of Cynic on the Cannibal Corpse tour?
Well, yeah. Well, nowadays it's more established nowadays, though. It's more like it's more
No,
established.
but it's still a bold like that.
Oh, it's still
that,
bold. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, but Cannibal, like, yeah. I mean, no, totally. It's still bold. People were pissed at the Cynic thing, supposedly at the friends that were at the Berkeley show.
There's
back
always
in the
going to
day.
be those guys. There's always going to be those.
It was more caveman-y though. Death metal was more caveman-y back then. I feel like it was more like death metal or go fuck your mother kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that most of the guys that were pissed, they couldn't understand Cynic, and that's why they were pissed. Or like,
yeah, they
it's
had
like
big club,
trying to
like,
read a book that has too many big words in it. You know, it's like, I don't understand this shit. Give me the fucking Mad magazine right now.
Exactly.
What if like Glenn Benton started doing like clean vocals all of a sudden?
That's what I was gonna say. Like you said, like someone said Origin. Like, what if Origin was just like
Satan?
That'd be sick.
It's
I'd
all
listen to
you,
it.
Tim.
I'm down. Fucking bring it, dude. I mean, I don't know if I went. What he has like a
corpse
sick,
grinder, like clean vocal corpse grinder, like.
Well, it's like Glenn Benton has like a sick, like Lane Staley voice. It's like because he's kind of like a smoky voice.
You never know, dude.
Voice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Michael McDonald voice.
You got the voice of an
Yeah,
angel,
dude. What if we did or like some sick prog metal band? Like,
let's start mixing
or
death
like
metal with
Rhapsody.
like.
What if he was like
Michael
perfect with
McDonald
Rhapsody?
and shit, like
Mike-
like dad bands.
I'm kind of about that, like Bee Gees, like that, like super high voice. That would go over.
Yeah,
falsetto.
I can't do it, but like that would sound good, like over some sick riffs. You know?
I could just imagine the show starting just like in the Michael McDonald voice, just once upon the cross.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, dude, that's good.
That's what we got to start
No,
mixing because
I think
people
Glenn
are-
would do like some country shit.
I'm saying people are like
I could
mixing.
see Glenn in a country
People are
band.
mixing safe stuff. They're going like, oh, it's still popular styles of music that we're mixing together. Like mix something, like mix some like cheesy ass like ABBA like in the middle of a brutal death metal. Like take a risk, guys.
That's not cheesy.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like you know what I mean. Like, but people are going like, oh, I'm gonna mix like Jay-Z with fucking like death. You know, it's like, oh, a billion selling artist with like another million. Cool. That's like a popular kids artist, like all the teenagers are into. Like, try to go from Like grab something from like the 50s, like a fucking Elvis, like throw Elvis into a death metal song. I mean, that's Danzig
Dude.
probably, but
Actually, because I'm studying I was studying audio production at school, and my semester I did a cover of Diana Ross and the Supremes, "You Keep Me Hanging On," and Billy actually played drums on it. And it starts out with like a sample from the song, like "Set Me Free, don't you dare," and then it just goes into like straight up screaming vocals, and like it sounds super satanic. And
hell yeah,
it's sick.
That's awesome.
I got a B on that project, dude. I got a B on that project. I did.
Oh my god.
My teacher's like, I don't know, man. Everything's just like exploding everywhere. Like that's the point.
Oh, they're using their like it's a recording project. They shouldn't like
Too
use
much,
their
yeah.
personal taste on like, you know, like they should like be like, oh, you're taking a risk on something, like fuck yeah, A-.
Yeah. And then I did a Neil Young cover, and I got this girl from the program to sing it, and she sings it like beautifully, and I got an A on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Mix it
Yeah.
up.
The teacher pleaser. Yeah. Shit.
Hit up
Let's
Josh
get back to
for
PB,
recording.
guys.
Yeah, did we talk about Human
Peanut butter.
Smasher?
Yeah.
That
Yeah, we
record's
just
sick.
got done talking about Human Smasher.
I was kind of going for that.
So
But I
where are
like
you
that
guys
one a
at
lot.
right now? What's your current plans? And
Well, there's Amygdala we got to talk about, right?
Yes, sir.
all right, let's do it.
Yeah, Amygdala musically was a huge turning point for us. We went from like death grind with slams in it to like 7-minute songs with really, I don't know. There's like black metal riffs, there's technical riffs, there's like kind of proggy time. It was just very different for PB. But yeah, Josh and Dalton both contributed. Like they wrote tracks that I think sum up their musical influences perfectly. Like Josh wrote this huge fucking like black metal masterpiece that went on the album. It was just like death metal songs, and then black metal, and then death metal. And then Dalton wrote this insanely technical, super fast song that just like summed up his playing style. But yeah, that's basically it from the writing standpoint. I'll let Josh take over here from the production standpoint.
Yeah. At that point, I had gotten a MacBook, and I started recording that album with on Logic Pro, and we were getting super into it. Like we're like halfway done recording it, and then I got to like this insane accident at work where like I was loading a truck and I fell off because the driver took off, and I got crushed. Like I broke all these bones in my body. I was out for a while, and yeah, just from that I got super depressed, and the album took like a 2-year hiatus, and we picked it up after that, and it was like at that point kind of Frankensteining the album together, because like I didn't really remember like what files to use, and like what I had to like piece everything together and continue on from that point. But yeah, so that album took a while. We finished it in 2019, finally put it out, and that was my first time actually like miking up cabs and stuff. Before that, we were using like a Line 6 gearbox interface. And I was just like running the guitars direct through that, getting the amp sims out of that. So that was a very experimental album. I think it sounds different too. It sounds like, I don't know, a little bit more atmospheric. But yeah, it was like a mixture of brutal death metal, technical, and black metal. And the black metal parts were like really epic. You know, like we're just talking about, like, why not experiment? Why does it have to be like just solid brutal death metal or slam? Why can't you just throw in whatever you're into? Like I like metal, so that's why in PB you'll hear a lot of that. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
that whole album is just like really fucking gnarly, dude. Like
Thank you.
it's like still, I mean, they're all are the styles, but there's also the vibe, and the vibe stays pretty continuous, and it just feels like really oppressive and fucking, I don't know. That one I've shown a bunch of people that because you gave me the CD and I have it in the car, and I'll just be like, dude, check out this band from San Diego, and everyone's like, damn, that's fucking gnarly. And yeah, I'm a fan of that record, definitely.
I would also like to shout out Josh's production on that one.
Yep.
Because for doing that shit in your garage or whatever, like that sounds like a fucking 10 out of 10 produced album to me. I know I've told you that before, but anybody listening, check that shit out just for that. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that shit's getting more common just because of technology and people have the shit to do it, but fucking hey, that's a good sounding album.
Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better since then too. I think this next album is gonna sound like way better.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with the
Nice.
next one?
The next one is Paroxysmal Butchering Force Feeder, and it is in the works. The drums are done, the guitars are done, the vocals are done for like 2 or 3 of the tracks. There's 7 tracks. They're going to be longer tracks again. If you're looking for what it sounds like, I would say it has the aggressiveness of Human Smasher, but it has the style of Amygdala, where it's like longer, more drawn out songs. The riffs really have more time to explore themselves and create, bigger sounds. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. We worked with some really, really awesome vocalists. I really enjoy having guest vocalists on our albums. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard demos of it. It sounds fucking rad. The material, at least, that I got to hear back in the day is fucking very sick. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, our recording process takes a while. My studio is at my parents' house, and I go there like every weekend, and I'm just like hammering stuff out. But Tim went even crazier this time with the writing, so I had to actually get better at guitar. There was a time where like I don't know, I fucked up something in my neck, and I felt it all the way down my fingers where I couldn't hold the guitar pick anymore like the way I used to. So I had to switch up my technique. And I honestly been building on that technique still. But yeah, so I recorded that entire album with the new technique. And man, you know what actually helped me out big time was that time that To Violently Vomit came to my studio and we were practicing there. And
Oh yeah.
Joseph, I don't know if you remember this, but I asked Diego, like, how do you play so clean?
Yeah, I remember.
And he told me, like, dude, get a metronome and just set that shit slow so you don't speed up and just play it slow and perfect. So like I have a guitar at work, and like every day I just set the metronome like slow, practice everything, and I've gotten better a lot better from doing that. It's fucking
Nice.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So,
That was really sick that I was able to just hit you up one day and be like, Diego and I need a place to practice. I forget why Casey's studio wasn't available because that's where we were practicing. But I was just like, Josh, can you just like host a To Violently Vomit practice? And he's like, yeah, my parents' house. And it was just like, okay, sick. Are they going to be chill? And it was like, yeah, they'll be chill with it. So we just roll into this residential fucking neighborhood, Diego and I, and just threw down the set. And we have some pretty cool practices, videos from it. And Diego was just being Diego. Yeah, man, like offering advice and wisdom. And yeah, it was just a good day. Very fun times. And shout out to Josh. And you will have a role to play in TVV, as we've already talked about. We need you to help Diego with some stuff too. So it'll go both ways. So
yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, good times,
I'm down
man.
to help out. Yeah.
And
For
your
sure.
parents, that was during COVID too, so it was like we had to like wear masks and shit, and we were
Yeah.
we're just so fucking stoked that we had a place to practice. So
It was like at the start of COVID where like no one really knew what to do. Like, I don't know, like,
Yep.
can I go to this person's house? Like, should I wear a mask? Like, fucking
Yep.
me and Tim were like keeping our distance. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, and you like had gear for us, like we used your drum set and amps and shit, so it was like it was very fucking sick, very cool.
yeah, that was super sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool, guys. Should be. What do you think we should do?
You guys have some shows coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit. Yes, we do. We have 3 shows. Friday, May 27th in Phoenix at the Blues.
Oh,
We-
fuck yeah.
You play that?
We just
Never-
played there last month.
Okay, I've never played there. Oh, that's awesome.
Is it
Okay.
with Immortalized Productions?
I do not know. I'll have to look at the flyer because
Okay, that's we were with, yeah. But he threw a great show for us. If it is him, that's rad. If not, it's still a great venue, and it's got a good stage.
awesome. Good to know.
Yep. And there's this guy who brings fucking giant like skulls, like, you know, fake skulls, like 2 feet, and he just like sets up the stage with all these like skulls and shit. Like he's like the vibe creator, stagehand guy.
Awesome.
It was fucking
That's
cool.
cool.
Yep. Okay, so what's after the Phoenix show?
And then the following night in Golden Valley, Arizona at the Compound, we're going to be playing. That place is fucking awesome. It's Kingman. It's a town outside of Kingman. And
Yeah.
and so we are really looking forward to I personally am really looking forward to that show. And then the following that Sunday is in LA at the Boulevard, I believe. And yeah, we're gonna be playing with Bloodscribe. I'm really looking forward to that. Those guys are so fucking awesome.
The
So, yeah.
homies. Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't the one of them with Atoll?
They're all with them. We're jumping on their 3-show series that they're playing with Angelic Desolation from Colorado, and then Dead Spawn got on too, and so it's gonna be a fun time. And then Saint Breaker's playing with us, I believe, 2 of the shows.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
So you heard cancel your Memorial Day weekend and follow these guys on these tour dates.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I wish I could make the LA show. I'm gonna be doing my own. We're going up to play Spring Meltdown on Saturday, Last of Lucy, and then heading back. I'm gonna be rehearsing with Illudium again, getting ready to do a show where I'm now the drummer of that band. I was the bass player on the record, and I've been promoted.
Oh, nice.
It's about time.
I'm now finally just the drummer in all my active bands. I had this one. I was like, well, I play bass. It's like, no, not anymore. I'm just drums. So
I still think you need to join more.
Yeah.
fuck that, dude. I'm so busy, dude. Honestly, if I join more, I'll have to quit the pod. So be careful with what you.
Oh, nope.
You
They don't
can't
want
do
to
it.
lose the professor, dude.
Yeah.
He can only have 17 like active bands in the pod. That's it.
That's it.
I'm going crazy. I'm literally like figuring out to violently vomit flight plans to Chicago, and also figuring out what hotel room in Tahoe for Last of Lucy. I'm just managing a lot of shit right now, and that's why I
Jesus.
said that's why I got the flyer wrong today. It's supposed to start at 7:30 for California guests, and I'm just like, I gotta make the stupid flyer before I go out tonight. Blah blah blah. So-
I'm too tired for the fucking colon 30, dude.
And
Yeah.
then your
3
flyer for that
keystrokes too
one
many.
show, all ages, is episode 47. What was it?
Yeah, I put the fucking tag in the yeah. If you know what he's talking about, congrats, you're a Cali Death super fan.
It's just a giggle for us, dude. I still laugh at it every time I look at it, but
It's like a live bagging. That's a good one for us too.
yeah,
Dude,
no
buy a
live
shirt.
baggings.
Someone buy a fucking shirt. I want to send another shirt out.
There you go.
Or just do. Yeah, never mind.
Is
No, go for it.
is Tyrell playing on some of these shows with you guys?
Yes, he is. He's gonna be playing the
Fuck yeah.
Kingman show. Yeah.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, dude. I didn't know that.
Good shit.
You better fucking bring it, dude. Like, we haven't even rehearsed.
Oh no, he's been practicing with Dalton. He's good. He's good to go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. You guys throw fucking sick shows, and on any bill, you guys just crush, dude. So yeah,
Thank you.
I wish I was playing these shows with you guys, to be honest, with bringing a band along or something. But we'll do that in the future. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Give it time.
We didn't.
In
We should have
time.
let you guys plug anything in the beginning. Like, do you guys have merch and stuff?
Yeah, we have shirts and CDs and tapes left. I'm pretty sure we have like tape cassettes, and then like our record label, you can pre-order like flags and shirts and all kinds of crazy shit from them.
What's their
Gorehouse now,
website?
right?
Gorehouse Productions, yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
Killer,
Carlos
dude.
is an awesome guy.
But yeah, dude. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being on the show with us, dude.
No, thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to be here. This was fucking
yeah.
great. Yeah, it was
No doubt, dude.
Yeah, it
Always-
was sick to meet you
Oh, yeah.
guys. I've been listening to this shit since like the early days. I couldn't believe there was like this much death metal in California.
Well, we've branched out. But yeah, there's tons, dude. There is, and like the sax scene, we didn't even talk about the sax scene. That's another newer scene that popped up and has been flourishing. But then you hear about Nashville and all this stuff too, and it's cool to hear these pockets all over the place, dude. That's what metal needs. That's what keeps it all alive, dude. It's pockets.
And seeing these like the shows to people touring and stuff, and like on the flyer it's all sold out. And it's like fucking Jesus for death
So
metal. Like,
sick.
holy shit! Like,
Yeah,
it's fucking good, man. Right now's the time. Right now's the time to fucking get out and play.
Yeah,
and do your
dude.
thing.
I really think that like all of us being at home made everybody. We're all hearing about these bands. Even Parasitic was brought up tonight. Came out of a hiatus. There's been
Totally.
just like the inspiration's bubbling in the underground right now, and I love it. I
Fuck
really
yeah.
do.
fuck yeah,
And
man.
I wanted to shout out Christopher Beatty for
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
at this exact moment he might be on stage ptage with the Zenith Passage.
Murdering.
I don't know.
Oh, Scott's live right now, so you could probably watch.
I should probably be watching, but I saw it last night live, stage side, and I was as close as you can get to the little. I was like, "That's my boy!" Like,
Yeah, dude.
I know
And,
Scott and Kevin were going like live when like showing the show, and I'm like, I can't watch it because I want to watch it. It's tomorrow for me, so I want to watch it tomorrow, and then after tomorrow, like I'll watch it. But like I want to know, I want to know I want to know the set and all the things. Like I want to know all the bands is like what they're gonna play and stuff. But I have to just shut the fuck up and just not watch it and then just go like whatever, dude. Just
All
shut
your
it out.
pictures are gonna make me super jealous, dude, because I can't make it. But I just gotta look
dude,
forward to
now that
stuff,
you
though.
said that, I'm gonna get like everyone to be like, say what up, Anthony.
You are gonna. Oh yeah, please do. That'd be awesome. Actually, that might make me feel better.
Actually, that makes you feel better. Nah, I'm not gonna do that then.
I know it. I want
but
some
yeah.
big knits energy, dude.
big.
Oh
Nip.
no, yeah,
I got
he's-
to smoke fucking bowls with Jason. That was fun as fuck. He's so rad. And
Shout out Jason Knits.
I do have to say I've seen Warforged before. I've seen Fallujah a million times. I've seen Rivers a few times. So that could possibly explain this, but I have to say Zenith Passage and Alluvial stole the show for me. Alluvial, that was my first time seeing Alluvial. I have to say I think they were
That's my favorite band of last year. I mean, favorite album last year.
I told Kevin today, I was like, you guys are going to be headlining the next iteration of this tour. Absolutely. So
Totally.
they're so
for them,
good,
man.
dude. They're so fucking sick live.
Yeah,
And
it's like
Brody,
you got Kevin's such a Brody, and like you got like everyone. They're all locked in like professionals, just got together, and they're just like probably gonna be like a killing.
And they have a sick album.
They have a sick
They have a
fucking
sick
record.
2 albums, but I'm saying this second one is like, if they execute that perfectly on stage, dude, that's what's gonna make them stars, dude.
Absolutely. They're going to be huge. I swear to God. They're the biggest.
Yeah,
they're
no
gonna be
doubt.
the biggest band. Yep.
Oh,
Whatever.
yeah.
I said it first. Fuck you.
We're a team, you asshole.
No, I know,
Stop
I
being
know.
There's no I in Joel, okay?
Whatever, dude. You ever watch sports? You don't. That's what I thought. You're not competitive.
I'll fucking murder your ass in football.
I don't know
Yeah,
how that
I
works.
definitely got you,
One-on-one
Dutch.
football.
All right, dude, let's do a fucking 100-yard dash, dude.
All right, you win.
All right.
All right. Fuck yeah,
Good
guys.
times, everybody. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
dudes.
Head
All right.
up that Cali Death Podcast.
pleasure.
bigcartel.com for that swag. Love your people. We love you. We'll see you next week. Thank you to everybody. Rock on.
Anthony, drink beer.